Hello there, wonderful humans. Welcome back to Board Game Dads. Welcome back to the Board Game Moms Mother's Day special takeover. And this is the final episode in that series. And of course, I saved the best for last with my favorite board game mom, my wife, Lauren. Lauren, thanks so much for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
Taking time out of your very busy schedule. And that part is not sarcastic because we are about a week and a half into having two children.
Yes.
Which is ironic because the list that we have for you today, the topic I should say, is pretty much related to that. So right off the bat, it's basically games to play when you don't have a lot of time to play games. We chose that for a couple of reasons. We do have currently I think, quite impressive streak of over 120 days now, consistently of playing at least one game. And of course, some of those are quite short for that reason. But we even got these games in when we were in the hospital and even through the sleepless nights and things like that. We always managed to get one in, and a lot of those came from this particular list. Now, caveat being that I do not know what is on Lauren's list. She has a long list that she whittled down to 5. Okay, so we are doing 5 picks here, and I have 5 predictions. We'll see how I do on those. Did you rank yours?
I did not. They're not in any rank
So
order.
these are just 5 quick games in no particular order.
Yes. And I started with about 20.
Okay.
So I could go on forever, but I did.
I'd be curious to know a couple of your honorable mentions, maybe when the list is over, like your number 6 or something like that.
Okay.
All right. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Lauren, what is your first pick?
All right. So the first one I put, probably because I would say we play it, I don't know about the most often, but we did for a while. And it travels well. So if we had to go somewhere, or if we were going out to dinner or to a bar, we would take that, get a game in that way. I went with Quicks.
Okay.
Did you guess that one?
I did. I was on the fence between Quicks and Quinto. They are very similar games, but different enough to own them both for sure. And I did go with Quicks because it does get played more. We've had it for longer. And it's just, like Lauren said, it's so easy to just bring out somewhere and play.
Right. And it's also one that I feel like when we want to get somebody into gaming or like dice game, we like give that to them. I know we gave one to your parents because they like to play some games too. So
yeah, very easy to teach, very portable, and it's a fun one. And it's quick, which is sort of in the name. All right, so 1 for 1. Let me check that one off over here.
All right. And I didn't want to do all dice games, so I definitely tried when I was whittling down my list to have a variety. So I went with Ticket to Ride New York because that one, and I know you have that on your list because that's probably been one of my more recent ones where when we only have a few minutes, I'm like, let's play this because it feels like you're playing a game. Like, not that the other ones don't, but it feels like it has more game mechanics. It's not just a roll and write. It's not just like you're placing the little cars. It has the mechanics behind Ticket to Ride. It's just a 15 to 20 minute game.
Yeah, I'd argue even less. I think, well, I guess it depends on the player count. We've only played with the 2 of us, and for a 2-player game, we get that game done sometimes in like 10 minutes, especially when we're like, all right, we're going to knock this one out. It's boom, 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 boom. The map's pretty small, tight. There's not that many routes. The longest route, I think, is 4 spaces, and there might only be one of those, actually.
I think there is, yeah.
So, yeah, it's a really quick one, but a lot of fun. Strategic enough that it does give you the satisfaction of a longer game, for sure. Yeah, and that was the first one that came to mind when this was the topic that we settled on.
Because that's been one that lately, if I'm like, I want to play a game, but not like a long one.
It's funny, I got that game as a Christmas present, I think, like maybe 3 years ago now. I forget when the game came out. It's not that old. But we didn't play it for, I think, over a year. Just stayed on the shelf. And then we finally took it out one day and we're like, holy crap, this is so fast. Like, really, really fast.
And has the mechanics of Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, and instead of trains, you get little taxi cabs, which is kind of cool.
All right, next one.
Go for it.
Okay, Silver and Gold.
Okay, so, I didn't have that one, and I should have.
I went with that one because, again, it's portable. It's one that we can take places with us, but it's also one we can pull out flip cards, some quick rounds. You're Xing things off. It's not just like rolling dice, or I feel like, again, it's there's a lot more kind of strategy that you have to put behind it, because you want to get the trophies first, or you have to see what the other person is doing and pick
it's
which
certainly
way.
It's less luck based than just rolling dice, because this is a flip and right, and you know what the cards are in the game. There's only like 10 or 12 shapes, something like that.
And you only use...
And you don't even flip the last one. So to a point, you can kind of sort of predict what might be coming your way. It doesn't always work out for you, obviously, which is where the strategy comes in. But yeah, that's a good pick. A very easy one to teach. Another one that we taught my parents that they picked up fairly quickly. And we had demoed this at PAX Unplugged a couple of years back and bought it, I think, immediately.
Yes, that's not one that we went back for. Sometimes, like, we'll play a game and then go back later on. This is one where we're like, we should have this.
It definitely scratched an itch at the time, and it's still going strong. And the flip and right category is also one of our favorites, so we get a lot of those. So I'm curious, because I do have another flip and right on my prediction list, and now I'm thinking it might not be on there because of your previous statement. So what's your fourth pick?
All right, my fourth one is sitting right in front of me, Fleet the Dice Game, which is a little bit longer. So that one could take about 30 minutes. I did tell you that there was one that was a little bit longer.
All right.
But that one, there's like a lot of strategy in my opinion, especially because, you can't do everything. You kind of have to pick which route you're going in. That is one that I feel if we have a little extra time,
Sure.
We'll play that quite often. We've played it quite a bit lately.
Oh yeah, this was easily this was a game that I kickstarted, and it was at the time a game that, for me personally, got played the quickest after receiving it. Like, I got to the table that night, and we loved it. It's probably one of our most played games for sure, and usually the games are pretty close.
Yeah.
Usually. As of late, I've been getting blown out every once in a while. Although last time we played, I actually won by 1 point. So there's that.
I knew you were going to mention that.
Oh,
that
almost
left the list.
Because, we play and I'm like, all right, I think I'm doing good this game. I got a lot of fish. I got a lot of licenses here. And then I lose by like 12, 15 points, which is a lot in that game. But yeah, last time I did squeak out that win. This is a good game. It's really a step up, obviously, from I don't want to say a normal roll and write, but in terms of the roll and write genre, this is easily on the more complex side. And speaking of Kickstarters, I did kickstart that game called Three Sisters, which is from the same designers as Fleet the Dice Game, which also is a roll and write, and also looks like it's like a bigger, 2-pad kind of roll and write thing. So I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Yes, excited for that. All right. So this last one, I actually have 2 different games because I was going back and forth.
Oh, so I might get 2 extra bonus points here.
So I'm leaning to which side? I'm going to go with Cartographers, actually.
Come on.
No? Should I go with the other one?
Well, tell me what the other one is.
Trash Pandas.
That's not a flippin' right.
No.
Oh, I thought you meant there was 2 flippin' rights that you were...
No, 2 games.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't have either one of those, so... I think the flip and right I picked is not going to be on your list then at that point. But go ahead. I love Cartographers. So.
Okay. I leaned toward... Originally, I wrote Trash Pandas just because I was looking for something a little bit different. I know you're rolling dice, but there's, cards and you're stashing things. I don't know. I wouldn't call it, It's a dice game, but I wouldn't call it,
Yeah, I mean, it has a die, so it's not really It's a die game.
A die.
It's more... It's set
Cards,
collection. It's set collection, hand management, and push your luck for sure. Because you can keep rolling as long as you want, but if you ever get the same symbol again, you bust. Another game that we played at PAX that year and bought.
Yes, pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. But that's not your pick. Your pick is Cartographers.
My pick is Cartographers because what I like about that one is, we draw the fun little pictures and we use colored pencils because it makes it a little bit more fun, but there's a lot of strategy behind it. Oh, yeah. That one's a little harder for me. I feel like you do better at that one than I do.
I think I do better at the spatial things than you sometimes.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm trying to figure out how, because whenever we have to switch for the monsters, I feel like you don't have a lot of space where I can kind of, I hate to say this, but screw you over with the monsters. But I'm always, I don't know if I just keep all my spaces nice and then you find all these open spaces. So
I can't reveal my secrets to you. I can't have you win everything. You got to give me something.
All right.
Yeah, love Cartographers. Another Kickstarter that we backed recently is the new like expansion map hero pack or something. I forget the official name is, but it's funny that you mentioned the colored pencils because the recent Kickstarter did have a pledge level, the deluxe version, which came with a set of colored pencils. And I was like, we don't need to spend that much money on those colored pencils when we have a bunch in the house. But it is a fun one to use colors for. The map just looks so much cooler when it's finished, and it's fun to draw monsters on each other's. Another one that you could play over Zoom, actually. If you have just the score sheet, you could just copy that and give it to someone. And once again, they would just have to see the cards that you're flipping, and they could draw on their own. And when you get to the monster part there, like we've had a couple of instances where it's us two like playing with another couple over Zoom, and for the monster phase, you just switch with the person next to you instead of, all the way around the table. It's really not that big of a deal.
Now, very similar to that one, I would say, would be Trails of Tucana, which was also on my original list, but I didn't really bring it down because I feel like that one takes a little bit longer. No?
That's the one I picked. You think that takes longer than Cartographers? No way.
Am I wrong? All right, then I should have.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll have to look at the box times, which are sort of meaningless, but all right. No, I did have Trails of Tucana on my guest
Which
list.
is very similar, where, I mean, you're not drawing things, but you're connecting and...
Yeah, it's a flip and right about making a map. So
it is similar.
Pretty similar.
In some way.
And yeah, another quick one over Zoom. I think it's faster than Cartographers. All right, so that's it? That's all 5?
That's all 5.
All right, so...
6 if you counted Trash Pandas.
All right, so I'm going to count Trails of Tucana, and then I have 2 more that you didn't say. I can't believe this first one. After I thought of Tickets to Ride New York, this was the second one that came to mind, and I cannot believe it's not on your list.
Uh-oh.
It's like your favorite game. It's your favorite quick game.
Why can't I think? Mom Brain? Can I use that? I just had a newborn.
Pass the Pandas.
That is my honorable mention.
Okay.
Because you do not like to play it for 2 players.
All right, so I get a half a point.
You get a half a point for that one. Because I did not put that because you will only play that 2 players if, like, we have to get a game in and we have, like, 35 seconds to play the game.
Yeah, it's that or rock, paper, scissors at that point.
I think that's the game we played, like, when I first came home from the hospital. I didn't want to get off the couch. We had to, like, roll something on the couch.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, it's a fun game. It's quick. I just don't like it at 2 players for the simple reason that you don't have any choice in what to do with who you're giving dice to. It's just one other person. So for that reason alone, I just don't love it at 2.
And I get it.
But it's fun. It's fast. You can play multiple rounds of this in the time it would take you to play almost any of the other games that we mentioned, for sure. So, all right. Other one I had on my list, and I was sort of wishy-washy on this. I wasn't sure, and that's Jaipur.
That's up here. That's on my
your
20 list.
20 list. All right. Okay. So I got a quarter of a point for that one. I don't know why we're keeping score, but
why not?
All right.
Does that count as a game?
What, this game? Yeah, I won. No, I lost, I guess. All right, so there's Lauren's 5 picks of short games to get in. We let her pick 5 because she is my favorite board game mom. In case you missed it, by the way, please go back and check out the previous 3 parts of the Moms Takeover. We had 3 very special guests, all with a different topic on their list, all from different gaming backgrounds, but all great board game moms. So you can check those out as well. Lauren, let's talk a little bit about why gaming is so important to us as a family.
Okay. Well, one, I think especially for us, I think it helps us like connect still, like in our relationship. It's almost like a date night, right? Like, so you put the kids to bed and then oh, what do you want to play tonight? And we have right now, you mentioned the streak, and that kind of started with, we were looking for, I mean, it started on our anniversary.
Yeah, it started our anniversary, which was December 30th.
And we wanted to make it to Valentine's Day.
Right, that was the original goal.
And then once we did that, we were like, oh, let's make it to 100. And now it's just like, it would hurt for it to end. And it's going to end.
I mean, it has to end at some point, but we didn't want it to be, I don't know. It's funny. Like you're saying, we share this thing, right? So we both want it to keep going. We both want the hobby to keep going. We both like introducing new people into the hobby.
Absolutely.
And we know that we're lucky that we have a shared interest that much where it's not a point of contention, which in some relationships it is. You know, if someone is into something that they spend money on, the other person isn't, it's hard for them to sort of see eye to eye on that sometimes. Right. So we're lucky in that aspect.
But especially like in the pandemic, right, where it was for a while just you and me in the house.
Yeah.
And you want to see your board game friends, you know, then we had Zoom, which we have friends that live further away that we don't see very often,
right.
Especially because now we have 2 young children, so we wouldn't go. So we can even continue to do that and play over the computer. And like for a while, once a week, we were playing with some of our friends. And
yeah, in a way, it was almost easier to get a weekly game night when you're doing it online than trying to, you know, meet in person or drive to the other person's house.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, it's a way to connect with your friends. It's a way for us to connect. Like I said, have a date night without even having to leave the house, and just kind of unwind from the day.
Oh yeah. It's an escape for sure.
You know, days can get crazy. You know, we have a 2-year-old and a almost 2-week-old. So, and not even just that, just, you know, even with work, it's like, oh, work was tough today, so let's go play a game. Let's just kind of escape from like,
yeah,
I know I have to do all the dishes, but let's play a game first.
It's something to look forward to. And if you know, when we're trying to keep the streak going, it almost is like a guarantee that we're going to do that thing that night. And again, I know there's going to be one day where we just don't get to play games, but I'd like to believe that it'll be a situation that's totally beyond our control, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if we made it through you giving birth and staying in the hospital and then going back to the ER for half a day after that, then I think we can
still
survive.
Played a game in the emergency room.
We did. We packed. What did we play?
And that's a thanks to my sister who,
Quinto?
As we were walking, yeah, that was Quinto. Yeah. As we were walking out, she's like, "You don't want to lose your streak. Grab a game."
Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. It's something else to talk about, and I think, like you said, with the pandemic, you know, again, we're lucky to share the hobby because there are a lot of people who live alone, or don't have a significant other that they live with, and their gaming went to zero, right, for a while. But for us, it was like, this is our game group now. That's it, just us.
Figure it out.
You know, which in a way made it easier sometimes to choose which game to play, because just looking at the shelf, you know, you can eliminate a bunch of things because they need 3 players, or, you know, they just don't play well with 2. But it got us getting a lot of 2-player only games to the table, and
new games,
a lot of new games, a good amount of cooperative games.
We bought a lot of games.
We did buy a lot of games. Yeah.
Wanted to support the local business.
Yeah. We shop local, support our local game store over that past year, and still to this day.
And I mean, it keeps us connected too, like for sure. Beyond, like, you know, we can talk while playing a game, or, you know, I don't know. I just think that it's definitely something that is, I can't think of the word I want to use, but it's something that we both enjoy, but we both kind of like different games in some ways.
Oh, yeah.
But bring it together.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's not like, oh, I don't want to play the games you like. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
There's compromise too.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we have a pretty wide variety of game lengths and themes and things like that there's...
It makes it hard to choose sometimes. We've actually gotten to the point where Anthony has numbered our shelves. We will roll a die and then have to pick a game from that shelf that day when nobody wants to pick. Because we're both very indecisive.
Yes, that's true.
So makes us a little more decisive too. There you go.
There you go. Another bonus. All right, so before we wrap things up here, I'm curious to know, or I kind of want to let me guess a few more that
Okay,
were on
that would be fun.
your original list. I was curious if you would have Draftosaurus on there.
I do.
Okay. Another game that's very quick. It has two sides to the board, and we almost always play both sides when we sit down to play. That's how quick it is. And let's see, I already mentioned Tucana. Seven Wonders Duel?
I did not put that one there.
Okay. Oh, King Domino Duel.
No, but I should have.
Okay, thought you might have that one.
Yeah.
How about Castles of Burgundy, the dice game? No. The card game?
No.
The regular game?
No. Sorry.
Let's see. You said Trash Pandas already.
I did. Yeah, because I was supposed to say 5. I'm pretty sure I said like 8 by throwing a couple extra in there.
Oh, well, there's a couple of the other game right flipping up, rolling rights rather. There's Bloom. We have Bloom.
I didn't put those because of... Oh, I did put one. I put one of them.
Rolling America?
I did. But that one's almost like my nemesis because I can't. I try.
That's a very frustrating
so
game.
hard.
But it's punishing for everyone that plays, like, so you know that it's not just you, for sure.
It's so hard, but I enjoy it.
What else? How many more are on there that I didn't guess? Looking around here.
2.
Oh, how about Martian dice or zombie dice?
Yes, they're both kind of... I have a little slashy there. Do you want me to tell you?
Catan? Dice game?
No. We haven't played that in a while.
Yeah.
We were playing that all the time, but we kind of...
That's another one we used to take with us out.
Yes.
Every once in a while.
There's another new one that I feel like we play more often now. Again, you can play it on Zoom.
Metro X.
Yes. Yes. Oh, another PAX game. That's really quick.
Another PAX game. Harvest Night? No, that wasn't.
No. I think it's over here. Maybe.
Walking in Burano?
No, but that's a good one.
Herbaceous? No, that wasn't PAX either. What is it? I give up.
Pyramid Poker.
Oh, that's right. I always forget about that game. We did play that at PAX and bought that at PAX.
We did.
Too. Yeah. That's a good one. Really fast, too. Another one that you can play multiple times.
I think part of the reason we bought that, too, is because the person that taught it to us was just so animated with, like, their teaching and, like, really made the game fun before you actually played it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people teach you games, like, it's a little confusing or convoluted, and you're like, wait a second, I have to play this to figure it out. But I feel like it was just very straight to the point, but fun and animated, so you knew.
And that was our first convention. Anyway, so that was the first time we really had, I guess, a stranger teach us a game, like demo a game for us. That's not something that we really had experienced before. So we can't wait to go back to PAX at least.
Yeah, that time was before AJ, right? Or did we buy that this?
Yeah, we went before AJ was born once, and then once when he was born.
Yes.
Or after he was born, not that day.
Oh, no, thank you. Also, Tides of, because it could be either one. Tides of Madness or Tides of Time, right?
Yep.
I put those because, again, quick game. But I think it's fun.
Really fast.
I also put, and I'm surprised you did not guess this one, Patchwork.
Oh, yeah. I should have said that.
Because that's different. That's not like flipping or rolling or it's like...
No, it's just polyominoes, and it's only 2 players. So it really shines.
And
we like that one. Yes, we have Christmas and Americana. The same game.
What'd you say? It's the same.
They're the same game.
They are
different artwork.
Exactly.
Although the Christmas one did come with a cookie cutter, so there's that.
A meatball cookie cutter?
No, it was like a Tetris, a T shape.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. We do have a meatball cookie cutter, though.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Let me see. Am I missing anything else? Oh, Sushiko.
Sushiko? Yeah.
Could be a little longer, though, sometimes. Oh, and No Siesta?
Okay, yeah. That's probably our newest acquisition in terms of roll and rights, I think. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you liked that one enough to put it on the list.
I do. And it's growing on me as it goes.
Cool.
But it was kind of on the bottom of that list, and it was easier to whittle off because it's not something. I mean, we play it more now because it's on this list, but.
Oh, yes, that's true. We should also point out that we're
ambitious
10 by 10 challenge this year. First time we're doing this as well. Color coded. The color that you see the most of is Lauren because she wins the most games. And that's why I was so excited to get a Fleet win in there. As you can see, I've only got 2 purple wins for me in Fleet the Dice game. And I was undefeated in Wingspan. I lost my last Bastion there as well.
And I almost never win that game.
Yeah. But another thing that just gives us a reason to play games as if we needed another one. So there's that.
Yeah, but that's...
Cool. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was nice to have Lauren on. Hopefully we can see more of her in a future video, perhaps. Again, this is Board Game Dads, the Board Game Moms Mother's Day Extravaganza 4-part series. Go check out the other 3 parts. And please, please, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I hope you all have a fabulous Mother's Day, no matter what kind of mom or grandma or aunt you are. You deserve to have a little fun. Maybe play one of the games that we mentioned. So there's that.
It's a good way to spend Mother's Day.
Agreed. All right, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.